So the very first multiple choice question from this series is the select the responsibility of the RA person. So what is the RA? RA, that is nothing but the regulatory affair, right? Regulatory affair personnel. So what is the responsibility? You can see the four different options to analyze the content of the active ingredient in the formulation. Is it the responsibility of RA personnel? No. To undertake stability studies of the drug products? Is it? No. To supervise the production of the formulation? Are they dealing with that of the formulation? Of course not, right? What is the option remaining? The option is the work with the federal, state, and the local governing agencies to get the approval for the drug, right? So the regulatory affair, they work or they help in the process of approval, right? So approval of what? Approval of drug, approval of medical devices, approval of different biological products, right? For what purpose? For examination, test, analysis, or the use. So this is the very first MCQ. The second MCQ is that Central Drug Testing Laboratory is located at. So what is the location where it is going to be located? What are the options? Is it at Delhi? No. Is it at Bangalore? No. Is it at Lucknow? No. Which is remaining? Kasauli, right? So Kasauli is the place where the CDL or the CDTL, Central Drug Testing Laboratory, commonly it is called as CDL. So CDL or the Central Drug Testing Laboratory is located at Kasauli. So Kasauli is the right answer for this. Okay. So next MCQ is that list of approved drugs and their associated IPR is available in. IPR is what? Intellectual property right. So the list of approved drugs and their associated IPR is available in which book? Is it a pink book? No. Is it red book? No. Is it black book? No. Then what is the answer? The answer is the orange book. So orange book, that is the book which will contain the list of approved drugs and their associated intellectual property right. Right? Next multiple choice question is identify the relevant regulatory body in US FDA for the approval of the drugs. So the question asks you that which is the regulatory body that will governs, that will regulates the all processes associated with the approval of the drugs in case of the United States. So what is the name of the body? What is the name of the agency? Is it a BLA? No. Biologic Licensing Agency? No. Is it IND? Investigation New Drug? No. Is it CBER? Central Biologic Evaluation and Research? No. Is it CDER? Center for Drug Education and Research? Yes. The CDER. That is the correct answer. So CDER, that is the regulatory body in the United States of Federal Drug Administration for the process of approval of the drugs. Okay, let's move to the next multiple choice question. So to submit a BLA, biologic licensing application, applicants are required to submit a form FDA 356H2. Which body? Is it CDR? No. CDSCO? No. MHRA? No. The correct answer is CBER. So it is the Center for Biologic Education and Research where the BLA application has to be submitted in the form FDA 356H. Okay, fine. Next MCQ is change in process from dry granulation to wet granulation is which type of variation as per US regulation, right? So this is particularly from the technology transfer, right? So this is the which type of variation. We saw that there is, or in case of technology transfer, there are minor variation, there are moderate variation, there are no change, and there are major variation. So all these are the four different options, and out of these four, it is the second B. What it is? It is the measure. So change in the process from dry granulation to wet granulation It is a type of variation which is there in case of technology transfer, which will fall under major variation. Next multiple choice question is, are the committees related to the EU regulation? Dash dash, are the committees related to EU regulations? What are the EU? European regulations. So it is the COMP. The correct answer is COMP. TGA is not, CDER is not, CBER is not, right? Next MCQ is ASMF. What ASMF, that is physically divided into two separate parts. So what are these two different separate parts? Is it application part and report part? No. Is it application part and report part? No. Is it addendum part and report part? No. The correct answer is applicant part and the restricted part. So ASMF is physically divided into the two separate parts, and these are the applicant part and the restricted part. Next MCQ is, schedule dash dash of the D&C Act 1940 and Rules 1945 deals with the guidelines for good manufacturing practices. What is DNC? DNC is the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. When it was implemented? 1940. What are the rules there under? The rules there under are of 1945. See, these may be also asked in case of the multiple choice questions, right? So as I said that whenever you are writing or whenever you are reading anything, it should be read in such a way that assuming that this will going to be asked, right? And as I said that this is only just the statement, and in the statement itself I had made a MCQ, right? So here it is the, you may have to think it that the instead of having blank space here, the blank space might be here, or might be it at this particular place, or might be it at this particular place, right? So you should know all these years, in which particular year which act was passed. Okay, fine. So our MCQ, that is the which schedule, right? Which schedule is related with the good manufacturing practices, or the GMP. So what are the options? Option is the Y schedule, P schedule, X schedule, and M schedule. So which is the correct answer? The correct answer is the M schedule. So Schedule M of the D&C Act 1940 and Rules 1945 deals with the guidelines for the good manufacturing practices. Okay. Next, CTD. CTD is divided into modules. What is CTD? Just to recall your memory. We had already covered it. Yes. What it is? Fine. It is the Common Technical Document, CTD. CTD is divided into how many modules? The correct answer is the 5 modules, isn't it? 3 module, 4 module, 6 module. These are the wrong answer. The correct answer is the 5 module. So CTD is divided into 5 modules. Okay. Come to next. Validation of analytical procedures. Text and methodology is given under the guidelines of ICH. ICH, International Conference on Harmonization, right? So what are the guidelines? The guideline are Q2R1. Q2R1, that is the correct answer. So validation of analytical procedure, that is the text and methodology, is given under the Q2R1 guidelines of the ICH, International Conference on the Harmonization. Okay. Next is the Q2R2, right? Q2R2, Q2R3, Q2R4. So Q2R2, Q2R3, Q2R4, that is wrong answer. And the correct answer is the Q2R1. 5. The entry in BMR record is done by, right? What is BMR? Yes, you can see batch manufacturing record. So batch manufacturing record, that is also called as BMR. So the entry in BMR or the batch manufacturing record is done by. Which department? You have to identify the department. The options are quality control department, quality assurance department, warehouse department, and the production department. So out of these four, which is the correct answer? Right. It is the D. What it is? It is the production department. So the entry in batch manufacturing record is done by production department. Right. Okay. Let's move to the next. BCS classification for class 3 drugs is, what is BCS? Biologic classification, biopharmaceutical classification system. BCS classification for class 3 drug is, what are the different options? The first option is high solubility, high permeability. Second is the low solubility, high permeability. Third is the high solubility, low permeability. And the fourth is the low solubility, low permeability. So which is the correct answer among these four? The correct answer is C. What it is? High solubility, low permeability. So this is the correct answer. High solubility, low permeability, that is the class 3 drugs according to the BCS classification. Okay. Next MCQ is, as per ANDA requirements, the bioequivalence of test to reference formulation is. What is ANDA? ANDA. Yes. What is its long form? Abbreviated new drug application. Correct? So it is the ANDA. ANDA. Okay, fine. So as per ANDA requirements, the bioequivalence of test to reference formulation is, which is the percentage? The different options are 80 to 120%, 100 to 150%, 70 to 130%, 70 to 80%. So out of these, the correct answer is the 80 to 120%. So 80 to 120%, that is the bioequivalence of test to the reference formulation as per ANDA. Next multiple choice question is, the headquarter of the WTO is located at which particular place? First is the Geneva, second option is the Belgium, third is the Austria, fourth is the Czech. So the correct answer is Geneva. Geneva, that will contain the headquarter of the WTO. Okay. Next, which of the formulation is regulatory authority of Australia? The various options are, you have to identify the regulatory authority. You should know a few of the regulatory authorities, right? For our India, it is the CDSCO. For our state, it is the state licensing agencies, right? Okay. So for Australia, which is the regulatory authority? So is it a pharmaceutical and medical devices agency? No. Is it a medicines and healthcare for product regulatory agency? No. Is it a central drug standard control organization? No. This is for India. Then which is remaining? It is a therapeutic goods administration. Okay, TGA, therapeutic goods administration. That is the regulatory authority for the Australia. Okay. Next MCQ is, which of the following is an international regulatory authority for drug regulation? Okay, what the question is? The question is about the regulatory authority, but which? Is it national or international? Yes, correct. It is the international. Which of the following is an international regulatory authority for drug regulation? We have to identify the international regulatory authority. So the various options are, first is the CDSCO, second is the US FDA, third is the WHO, and fourth is the EMA. So the international regulatory authority among all these four is the WHO, World Health Organization. Next MCQ is the term WIPO, WIPO stands for various options. We have to identify the long form of the WIPO or WIPO or WIPO. The first option is the World Investment Policy Organization. Second is the Wildlife Investigation and Policing Organization. Third is the World Institute for Prevention of Organized Crime. And the fourth is World Intellectual Property Organization. So the correct answer is the World Intellectual Property Organization. That is the WIPO. WIPO. Okay. Next MCQ is which of the following is a branch of CDL? You have to identify the branch for the CDL. Is it situated at New Delhi, Faridabad, Bangalore, or Kolkata? So the correct answer is Kolkata. So Kolkata, it is the place where the branch of CDL that is located. Next MCQ is, as per ICH guidelines, chloroform is classified as which solvent? Which class of solvent? The different options are class 1 solvent, class 2 solvent, class 3 solvent, class 4 solvent. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is class 2 solvent. So the chloroform that is classified into the class 2 solvent as per the ICH guidelines. Okay. Next MCQ is Form 11 license is issued for. Form 11 license that is issued for what? The different options are export of drugs for examination, test, or analysis. Second option is the manufacture of drugs for the purpose of examination, test, or analysis. Third option is the import of drugs for examination, test, or analysis. Fourth option is the distribution of drugs for examination, test, or analysis. Which is the correct answer? The correct answer is C. That is the import of drugs for examination, test, or analysis. Okay, right. Let's move to the next. Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission headquarters is located at where the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission headquarters is located. It is located at, what are the different options? The first is the Delhi, second is the Mumbai, third is the Hyderabad, and fourth is the Ghaziabad. Which is the correct among all these? Right, it is the Ghaziabad. So Ghaziabad, it is the particular place where the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission headquarters that is located. Okay. Next MCQ is which of the following is the responsibility of state authority of the CDSCO? So what is the state authority? It is the SLA, right? So what are its responsibilities? Is it regulatory control over the import of drug? Is it approval of new drugs and clinical trials? Is it to conduct the meetings of Drug Consultative Committee, DCC, and Drug Technical Advisory Board, DTAB? And last one is the regulation of manufacture, sale, and distribution of drugs. So which is correct among all these four? So it is the D, that is the regulation of manufacture, sale, and distribution of drugs. That is the correct answer.